What's up, guys? Welcome back. My name is Abel, and this is Starting Over in Spain. Like I said before, I was going to do that video making over for the debacle of a live stream I did on the requirements of the non-lucrative visa. So without jumping around it, let's get to it. Okay. So this is the actual official website that was down when I was doing the live stream, but now it's working. Now, each consulate has their own specific requirements. Now, they're pretty much very similar, but there might be a little bit of some differences. So if you live in the West Coast in California, for example, you should go to the website that's closest to you. In my case, it was Miami, so I literally just went to Miami Spanish Consulate right here, non-working resident visa, clicked on it, and this is the requirements for that consulate, the one that I worked for. In your case, you should work with the one that's closest to you. But again, it's pretty similar. So let's get to it. Required documents. Number one, national visa application form. So I'm just gonna do this with you guys right here. Now this is pretty much self-explanatory. You can just fill it out yourself. Now, I know it seems like a lot, but you only have to fill out like 25% of it. I wish I can share the one I filled out, but unfortunately they keep it. I don't get the copy or anything like that. I only get back the birth certificates, marriage certificates, stuff like that. All the forms, they keep it. So what I did to help me out fill this form, you can just YouTube people. I wish I could do it, but I don't really remember, so I don't want to give you guys the wrong info. YouTube, there's a lot of YouTube videos of people explaining exactly what you need to put out here. But besides that, in most times, guys, once you go to the consulate with your visa appointment and they look at your paperwork, they're gonna correct some stuff. Believe me, information is very limited out there. So, and they understand that. So before the visa gets submitted, the people that are helping you out, they will tell you, hey, you need to refill this or scratch this and put this. They will help you out. I mean, you can always ask too. Hey, is this form filled out correctly? But they understand that the information is limited, okay? And not everybody has the ability or the money or even the need to work with a lawyer. So, all right, so this is the first one. You do it, bam. And it says here, each applicant must complete and sign the visa application. Obviously, if you have kids, you sign for them, okay? The second one, non-working resident application form, the same thing. Now, this is much easier, it's way smaller. So the same thing, guys, just go to YouTube and look for people who actually go line by line helping you fill up this form. But it's pretty much self-explanatory, as you can see here. Just have copies for all the dependents. If you have kids, you fill it out for them. All right, let's keep going to number 3, photograph, just passport photos. If you guys are from the States, go to Walgreens or CVS and get yourself some passport photos for everybody who's gonna be applying in that visa, okay? Number 4, valid and unexpired passport. Now this is important, guys. When you guys are taking your passport, they have to must have a minimum validity of 1 year and contain 2 blank pages. So if you guys are one of those people who travel a lot and are proud that having all the pages in your passport filled, you have to get a new one because they need 2 blank pages. And it would suck if you show up to your appointment after months of hard work and you have to reschedule because they're not gonna take your passport. Okay, and obviously passport issued more than 10 years ago will not be accepted. And let me see. Yeah, more than 10 years. So if it's if it's older than 10 years, just get a new one, okay? Number 5, and this is the bread and butter of the visa, okay? Proof of financial means. The applicant must submit the original and copy of documents proving that they have sufficient financial means to cover the expenses of residing in Spain for the initial year of residence permit, or accrediting that they have regular source of income for themselves where applicable and for the family members accompanying them. The minimum requirement is equivalent of 400 of Spain Public Multiple Efforts Income Indicator, IPRIM. That's a mouthful. Now, what does this mean? Guys, do not overcomplicate it. Go to Google and put IPRIM Spain 2025 right here. The 2025 iPerm is 600 a month, 7,200 annually. Now, for where it says here, it says it right here. For non-lucrative visa, you need 400%. So what does that mean? Times 4. So 6 times 4, 600 euros times 4 is 2,400 euros a month for one person, for the main person, right? So, like example, me, 2,400 bucks, 2,400 euros a month. Now, each dependent, it's gonna be, it says it right here. Each additional family member, it's 100% of the annual iPerm. So another 600 euros, okay? So if it's 2,400 for me, and I have 3 other dependents, 2,400, that's 3,000, 3,600, 4,200. So 4,200 euros a month minimum, right? For my family. If it's just one person, the minimum is 28,000 euros a month. That's what you need to have. That's what you need to make if you have a pension or stuff like that. Now, what people get confused is, obviously this visa is not gonna allow you to work, right? You cannot work obviously in Spain, and you also cannot have a job in the States as you're living in Spain. If you have a job in the States and you can work remotely, you might as well apply for the digital nomad visa. For this one, you cannot have any source of pretty much taxable income that is considered a job. If you have rental properties, obviously that's taxable income, but that's not a job. So what qualifies as income? Pretty much everything. I'm talking about credit cards that you have, for example, if you have a balance of, or if you have a credit card limit of 3,000 and you have no balance, those 3,000 count towards this, okay? You just have to show proof of that, meaning the credit card statements and then stuff like that. Obviously your investment accounts, retirement accounts. If you have a car that's paid off and you have that title, that counts as money. Equity in your house counts as money. So for example, for my house, I had to get a warranty deed for the house in South Florida, the one I have, and the one in Tennessee, warranty deed for both houses. That counts as money. Pretty much, obviously I had a pension from the VA, so that counts as money, but it's not taxable income, so it's not considered a job, right? So let's see, pretty much anything that you have that it's equal to money counts as this. Obviously you have to submit taxes. It's better to actually, we're gonna sell the house in Tennessee, and you know that paper, if you guys ever done something similar to that, you know the realtor gives you proceeding sheets, meaning like how much you're gonna make if you sell the house. We attach that in our application. If you have any doubts of whether you should attach it or not, attach it. The worst they can do is just not use it, but you don't really know what they say. They should say approve or not approve. So anything you have that equivalents money, or any source of income, credit, cars, anything that's yours, equity, everything counts as money, counts towards this visa, okay? Okay, let's keep going. Criminal record check. Now, no more than 6 months before the application date. So guys, make sure you guys time this pretty good. If you go get this background check and then you find out that you don't have 2 blank pages of your passport and you have to get a passport, and it takes more than 6 weeks for you to get that passport, then you have to redo this again. So make sure you go through every single step and find out kind of the timeline of each step, and find out which one you're gonna do first, okay? Because birth certificates and marriage certificates have to be no older than 3 months, if I'm not mistaken. We're gonna cover that here. So for the criminal record check, it's pretty much fingerprints through the FBI that clears you, like a background check. So how do you do it? Easy. You click here. You go here. Now you can get it by mail or you can get it online. Obviously, let's do it online. Mail, complete application form. No, we're doing it online, right? So for online, you click here. So once you're here, you're gonna click here where it says obtaining your identity history summary. You click here where it says learn more. And then right here where it says submit a request. An email must be provided in order to initiate the application process. Now, you put your email, and they're gonna send you a secure link along with a personal identification number. Once you have that, you can just go to your closest post office who offers fingerprint services. How do you know? They even have it right here. You click here, they send you to the, Jesus, it's taking forever. Okay, this is taking way too long. Just go to Google and just put post office fingerprinting. Look at that, bam. Register for fingerprint capture. Click here. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your name, last name, email, and that confirmation number you got in your email. Okay, and then once you have agreed, you register. Once you register, they're gonna take you to right here. The next step is you put your zip code, and they're gonna show you the closest post offices who offer that. Now, this by far is the quickest step. You get that email immediately, and most likely you're gonna get an appointment the same day or maybe the next day. It's not like passport appointments in the post office. Fingerprints, nobody's really doing that. So once you get the paperwork that they give you at the post office, they just give you the receipt. You have to pay $50. It is $50 fee for each person who's doing the fingerprints. They submit it to the FBI, and then you get an email from the FBI saying an attachment saying the background check is good to go. And I think I got it the same day or the day after that. So it's pretty quick, pretty easy. All right, let's close this out and let's continue. Translation, American Translation Association. Now, everything has to be translated into Spanish. All right. If you have a doubt, do they tell you here exactly which document needs to be translated? Not really, right? But you should translate everything. Again, it's better to go overboard than to miss something out and not have it counted because it's translated. So what you can do is you just copy here, go to Google, right? And then click on that first one. It can't just be any translator. It has to be translators from this website. So come here, which says here, find language professionals. Click there. It's language pair from, let's say, obviously from English to Spanish. And what do you need? You need interpreting spoken, translation written. You need translation written, right? So translation and enter location. Let's see, I'm gonna enter location, this one in Miami, and submit. Right here, all these people. Now what you can do is, like I did, you should start calling. You click view, and usually it has a phone number right here. And usually have an email too. I don't see an email here, but a phone number. You call. They don't answer, you call the next one. If they do answer, you tell them what they're gonna do, and most likely you're gonna be working with this person for the rest of the process, okay? Because you're gonna need a lot of things translated. So that's how you find a translator, an official translator for these documents, okay? Let's keep going. Info Department of State Apostille. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't know what apostille was. So apparently apostille is the US government or whichever state that document that you're trying to get apostille comes from. For example, a birth certificate from Tennessee, the Secretary of State of Tennessee has to put a stamp on that birth certificate, which is that apostille, saying that it's towards the country that's going to go to, for example, in this case, Spain. So it's saying that, hey, this document is legal, it's official, and it's good enough for Spain. Like if Spain sees that, and it's like, okay, we know that it's good enough for us. I'm hoping I'm explaining that right, but that's pretty much what an apostille is. So how do you do it? All right, so for example, the background check, you need that apostille, right? So the background check come from the FBI, right? Which come from, I mean, you can Google all this stuff just to be sure, but if I'm not mistaken, the background checks come from the Washington, D.C., right? So what I did was I went to Google right here. Let's just go real quick. Google Maps. Now, apostille services are usually under notaries. So, but you can just put apostille services. Let me see this one. It's just right here. Washington Consular Services, document apostille and legalization. Okay, you should just call. Now guys, shop around for this, okay? Just call them and ask them, hey, I need this apostille. How long does it take and how much it is? If it takes too long, if it's too expensive, just click here, Apostilles, and look around the area, because they physically have to get that paper and hand walk it to the Secretary of State's office. And then it's just based on them to see how far or how long they take, okay? So shop around for that. And of course, once you get that apostille, you're gonna get it, and guess what? You're gonna translate it. You're gonna translate the apostille, and you're gonna translate the actual document, the background check, with the woman or the man that you found in the translator website. So let's keep going here. Proof of public and private health insurance. You need health insurance. That is, I mean, that's a go-to. You need to get it. So what we did is we actually had an appointment with a lawyer, just one session, and she actually gave us a company, a medical insurance company called Asisa, A-S-I-S-A. I'll put it here. And she gave me like a code, like a discount code. It's like a 10%, whatever. It ended up being like, I think $2,200, $2,400 for 4 people, all 4 of us, for 1 year. You have to pay it up front, right? Now, this is what the timing thing comes into play. The health insurance is for 1 year, right? So let's say you're starting the process today and you decide that the first thing you're gonna do is get health insurance. So you pay that 1 year and it starts tomorrow, right? But by the time you actually receive the approved application, it could be 3-4 months, right? So now you just wasted 3-4 months of that insurance. So the visa people can just tell you, hey, you need to get a new insurance. So you're gonna have to extend it, or maybe get a whole year. So if I were you, you get the insurance, but you extend the starting date. So we got the insurance, I believe it was mid-May, but it didn't start until like August 15, August 18. And we ended up leaving September 5th. So it was about 3 weeks that we lost, but 3 weeks, come on. So just keep that in mind, okay? Medical certificate. Basically, you go to your primary doctor and they have to give you a signed letter, which is right here. Let's click on it so you guys can see what I'm talking about. A bilingual medical certificate, right? And make sure they have their letterhead, medical stamp, doctor's signature, and license number saying that you're in good health, you're good to go, that you don't have Ebola or nothing crazy, okay? This is, again, pretty easy, assuming that you can get your doctor's appointment pretty soon. Now, as you can see here, this is in English and it's Spanish already, right? So you might think that you don't need this translated, but for whatever reason, it says here, what does it say? Right here, it says stamped and translated into Spanish by a sworn certified translator stating. So now what does that mean? Since it's already in Spanish, you don't need to translate it, or you actually need to translate it by a sworn certified translator. When it comes like this, guys, when you have any doubts about stuff like this, get it translated by a certified. I'm telling you, it's better to go overboard than to not do it at all. So let's keep going. Driver's license, just picture your driver's license. Immigration status, not applicable for U.S. citizen, green card, work permit, unpassed. Okay, so not applicable for U.S. citizens. If you're a green card holder, I'm guessing you just have to have copies of your green card. Payment of fees. Okay, this is by far the most complicated thing ever. So you go here, click here, right? And it says the applicant must complete all the files of sign 2 copies, and then fee also can be paid online through the link. In this case, proof of payment obtained the same web can be attached. Amount of $94. For the citizens of the United States, it's $140. I think it's per person too. Now, as you can see here, I'm not even going to attempt to go through this because it was very complicated for us. We watched a bunch of YouTube videos, people were explaining this, and we actually couldn't pay it here online. And on top of that, it was wrong. So we filled out the wrong form, and what we did was we just took that form to our appointment, and then in that appointment, they gave us the right form. Again, they help you. They gave you the right form, and we just had to pay the fee right there. So that's it. So don't stress, guys, okay? Test the identity. This is if you have a lawyer or somebody working in your behalf, okay? Let's keep going. Required documents for family members. Okay, so this is pretty much each family member will be necessary to submit all documents in series 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you can just read this, right? all the family members, like all the forms and stuff like that. You need like medical insurance, the medical certificate, background check. It's for people under 18, but they have to fill out all those forms. For minors, the visa application and the resident permit application must be signed by one of their parents. There you go. Again, unmarried partnership issue within the last 6 months. Okay, so the marriage certificate, 6 months. So is the birth certificate. So you have to get all those new. And of course, so the documents that needs to be apostille are the documents that come from the government, meaning birth certificates, marriage certificates, warranty deeds, because that comes from the county, which is part of the government. All those need to be translated as well, okay? Bank statements don't need to be translated, just print the first page where they see how much is coming in and how much is coming out. Well, I don't think they care how much is coming out, they just care how much they're coming in, just the first page, the past 12 months. So obviously, don't print out every single page for every single month. You're gonna have like 100 pages. Procedure. Who can apply for the visa? I mean, by that point, you guys already know. Place of submission. Okay, so this right here is to follow to get an appointment, right? Now, to make an appointment, we couldn't get an appointment at all. They were all booked. So what we did was, I don't recommend it unless you want to pay extra and you want to risk a little bit. What we did was we booked an appointment for another type of visa altogether. And we were like, you know what, let's just book an appointment for this. Let's get there with the wrong appointment and hopefully they just see us. That was the case, but we had to pay a fee. I think it was like 80 something bucks per person for that fee, if I'm not mistaken. But it was worth it. We got it through. Decision period, it took about 3 months for the day of the application. Now this is about correct. It took us about 3 months, I think a little less. So usually they send you an email saying they got the visa, and they will send you an email, see if anything is wrong or they're missing any document, which in our case, we were missing one birth certificate that was taken forever from Washington State. And we knew that once we turned it in, and we got that email like a week or 2 weeks later saying, hey, you're missing this document. By that time we got the email, we had already received it, so we sent it to them, so it was straight. Even with that, it took about 3 months. Appeals, I mean, I'm guessing you can appeal. We got approved, so I'm not gonna go into this because I don't want to give you guys wrong info. And then the validity of the period of the visa. The visa will be valid for 90 days. Once in Spain, a foreign identity card must be applied for within a period of 1 month from the applicant's entry to Spain. Now, of course, this is a little iffy because it depends on how hard you can get or how fast you can get an appointment to get that identification card in Spain. But once you get the visa, you got 90 days to enter Spain. That's pretty much what it says. And that's it, guys. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys understand this. I feel like I was talking way too fast, but hey, it is Saturday morning, so I woke up early just for you guys. Well, not early, it's 11 o'clock. But that's it. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any specific questions. I will gladly help you with all my knowledge. And I'm sorry we didn't fill these forms together, but I don't remember exactly, and I got the info from another YouTuber. So you guys can go ahead and do the same, okay? And again, we don't get that back. If we get that back, I can just read it and tell you guys what I signed or what I filled out. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and you guys have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one. Deuces.